Oh, hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If Sagittarius is your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask that you connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start off with the High Priestess. This seems to be a rather popular card lately. We've been getting it a lot in a lot of readings across the channel, across the collective. I feel like you, Sagittarius, along with a lot of the other signs, at least in this Dove and Serpent collective here, are tapping into this psychic energy a lot more than usual now. I feel like something very, very significant is approaching for a lot of us. The High Priestess is this card of intuition. It's the card of receiving kind of psychic messages. It's the card of clarity. It's the card of a waxing moon, a widening of the psychic aperture, letting in more of this lunar energy. Okay? I think that you're somebody that's always had a very strong connection with the other side, or with the spirit realm, or with the subtle energies. I feel like you're someone that could read auras. I feel like you're somebody that probably even does maybe even some sort of mediumship or channeling work of your own that it feels like it's more personal, and I don't think you do it as a job or a career or something, or like you don't do it for a lot of other people, maybe just your close people. But you have a very strong connection with spirit. And I think that your psychic energy, your psychic eye, your third eye, is opening right now, as it is for a lot of people. And I think that you're noticing a lot of anomalies in the universe, a lot of strange things that shouldn't really be there, or things that seem out of place, things that kind of sparkle a little more than other things do. And I think a lot more synchronicities. Okay, and I feel like your dreams are probably very vivid. You might even be a lucid dreamer now, though you maybe never have been. A lot of energy coming in. All right, now we're going to put this into some context and see what else is going on here. Oh, well, now we've got the very practical side of it with the Princess of Pentacles. We've got the entire universe here now. We have the clarity of the Ace of Swords. We have the happiness of the Nine of Cups. You got the Builder here. A lot of this earth energy. I feel that there's really a clarity going on here, and there's a lot of building, sort of manifesting energy going this way, right? It's kind of the edges of two circles are starting to sort of bump together. We have this earth circle going this way, and then we've got this more internal heart and mind intuition circle kind of going that way. And the two worlds seem to be coming together. I think that's very significant for you. And of course, that's what the Magician does, brings the two worlds together, the outer and the inner world joining together, the spirit realm and the earth realm joining together. So two spheres of your life, I think, are sort of starting to merge right now. Okay? And it feels like it's kind of this internal psychic thinking, feeling sort of energy, and your outward goal-oriented sort of builder type of energy that we see with the Prince of Pentacles. We've got also the Lust or Strength card. The Hierophant. Are we going to go 4 for 4? No, it ends up with a 3 of Pentacles, sort of getting back to basics. The 3 of Pentacles is kind of saying that if we are blending together two worlds right now, kind of have to start with the basics. We have to start slow. We have to sort of introduce everybody and just go over the fundamental sort of ground rules of the interaction, you know. We don't want to make things too complex right now. I think simplicity is a really important key for you. at the moment, especially with all this psychic energy coming in. It's easy to get overwhelmed by all that data, right? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here and put Jimbo, the Lizard King, aka Mr. Lizard, right there on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end. But you know what's going to tie everything together, right, and give us our confirmation. Now, if you have a prediction, which I'm sure you will, put it in the comments down below. Just takes a moment, and it's a good exercise of our intuition. All right. Let's take a look around the room now. We do have a lot of major arcana. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Half the reading is major arcana. We don't have any fire, but, you know, this is pretty fiery anyway. We have the best water, really the best card in the whole pack, the 9 of Cups. So we've got our water energy. We've got our air energy. We certainly have our earth energy here and here. Now, so really it's a pretty good mix of stuff. It's very heavy on the spiritual energy of the major arcana, which tell me that this is a very significant time in your spiritual development. I feel like there is sort of the approach of it's almost like when two galaxies are just about to collide, you know, and or two companies are about to merge, or two families are about to merge, or two areas of your life are about to merge and overlap and become one. Okay? And I don't know what these dualities are for you. I don't know if it's work and private life, if it's career and family, if it's just internal and external sort of life. There's a coming together of energy for you right now. All right, and it's very significant. The Princess of Pentacles is, in the context of these other earthy cards, right, the Three of Pentacles and the Universe card, I feel like this is the ideal life that you wish to create. This is earth and earth. So it kind of represents the two worlds that we're talking about. Perfectly perfect, perfectly formed, excellent in their own way. Not lacking, not broken, right? So just full and complete. Two of those merging together into something more, right? 1 + 1 here is equaling more than 2, right? So this is that potential. This is kind of saying, look, this could really be the absolute bomb diggity, right? Two perfect souls, let's say, coming together and creating a life, a family, a business, an experience, right? Creating an energy that is so far beyond either of them separately, right? So this is kind of, we look at the Princess of Pentacles as an energy that is really pregnant with possibilities. Yeah, this is everything that will be, okay? I also feel that there is, you're sort of, I don't know if you're responsible for a younger female energy, but there's some, maybe you have a daughter or a younger sibling or a cousin or a niece or something like that. But I feel there's a younger female energy that you're sort of responsible for in a way. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but and I kind of think it's a sibling actually, because we got the sort of other half of the sibling energy here with the Prince of Pentacles. But back to the Princess of Pentacles. This is everything that can be in this situation. Okay, so this is you sort of looking at this and thinking, yeah, the best case scenario, right? Best case scenario. And I think the idea here, because this is sort of crossing the High Priestess, is that this is what the messages from Spirit are trying to tell you. I think if you really pay attention, Spirit's telling you that the absolute best possible outcome here is a real possibility. It really is something that I think is coming your way very, very soon. Okay? If you have a romantic partner right now, Spirit's saying that they very much honor and respect and love you. You've been having questions about their authenticity, perhaps. They're A-okay. Spirit's saying that they absolutely adore you. Okay. Down beneath everything, we've got the World or the Universe card. This is similar to the Princess of Pentacles in that it represents the possibilities of something. But this is sort of out of all the infinite possibilities in the whole universe, right? This is the set that belongs to you and that is going to result from all of your efforts, from the merging of these two things together. So this is, this is literally everything, and this is your particular chunk of everything, okay? So the universe card, it's also talking about boundaries and how, in whatever way, you've ceased to keep things separate, that you've sort of lifted the boundaries in your life, that you've said, okay, it's all right for things to come in this way and for me to sort of start this merger of sorts, whether it's a business, a friendship kind of thing, whether it's your own spiritual merger, whether it's with a romantic partner or two families or two lives or whatever it is. This is you kind of saying, I'm letting the walls down, right? We're lowering the shields, as it were, and allowing this to take place. Okay, because I think it's been something that you've been wanting for a long time, but there's always been a little bit of caution, a lot of caution, which is a good thing. I think that you really have waited this out. You've stalled this thing out for a long time to see if it's worthy of you, right? To see if it's something that's going to really stick around. You made this thing wait. Okay, and I don't know if this is a romantic thing. I feel like it, because of that Nine of Cups, I feel like there's the romance, the emotional stuff is part of it, but there's also the physical, financial component, the intellectual, emotional, the spiritual, creative part of it. I think it's really you just trying to live a holistic life, a life that doesn't have any boundaries, a life that's not compartmentalized. A life that's fully integrated and your spiritual energy flows from your career or your work or your volunteering to your kind of your home life and to your passions and to the people that you love, your interpersonal relationships, to your relationship with God, Goddess, Deity, with the earth itself, with everything. Everything is connected and everything sort of everything knows each other. Because we have a lot of clarity here in the background with this Ace of Swords. I feel like recently you got some good news recently, and I don't know if it's related to this at all, but you got some sort of good news that I think really sparked your optimism. It really allowed you to see things clearly and perhaps to have a realization that, that Spirit wants you to live this full life, and maybe this is the confirmation that we're really waiting for. Because in the last reading, I mistakenly said that Libra is your opposite sign. Okay, we had some Libra energy in the reading, and just a little brain fart, I guess. But the Libra energy, I think, is very important for you. And it was important in that reading, and I think it's still kind of here because there's this idea of sort of two things being kept separate and being evaluated on their own, right? And I feel that there's kind of this weighing of options or weighing of the opposites for you. Yeah, I feel like things really sort of, I feel like your fate's in the balance here. And the idea is not to see which one is most important, but how do we merge these two different spheres together, right? And it could be any, like I said, it could be your career and your family thing. How do we merge everything together and sort of make this, make everything sort of, connected? How do we hook all the wires up and make this thing function? Because again, once it comes together, it's going to be greater than the sum of its parts. Okay, and it could be two companies. You're trying to sort of merge two companies, or maybe it's an acquisition, or I don't know what it is. Maybe it's you trying to figure out how to fully merge your energy with your new employer or your new spiritual organization or religious body or whatever it is, right? So I think anyway that the Libra energy is very important for you. We'll see if that shows up anywhere today. So far not. And I think that this Ace of Swords might be why, because you know that the adjustment card, the Justice card, shows an Ace of Swords. It's that sword of judgment, right? It's the sword of discernment. It's that sword of clarity. It's the sword of truth. And I think that you're realizing the truth of something in your life, and maybe it's just that there's no reason left for you to separate your life in the way you have been. Putting this thing belongs over here, and that's for a certain particular time. It's like when we try to have an earthly, human, mundane life, and we also try to have a spiritual life. And never the twain shall meet, right? No, it needs to be one. And maybe that's the truth that you're realizing, because that's the most fundamental thing. And that, of course, is going to trickle out like a river to every other area of your life. And maybe this is kind of, we've been compartmentalizing our spiritual practice, our spiritual focus, our spiritual life, and our human, mundane, kind of material life. And sometimes we give more weight to one or more weight to the other, but then the other one suffers, and it's kind of, we just keep doing this sort of juggling act, right? But the union of these two spheres of life, and I think the realization is that they're not separate, that they are already fully intertwined. That sort of experience is going to trickle out to a lot of other areas in your life. I feel like an old friend did give you some news. I feel that Ace of Swords, and maybe that hasn't come in yet. An old friend's got something important to tell you. Some good news coming your way from an old friend. Yeah. The Nine of Cups is the dream that keeps on dreaming, the happiness that keeps on happening, right? It is the water energy that has flowed from source to every other area of your life, like the circulatory system in our bodies. It takes the life force to every cell in our bodies, and that's what this card represents. Kind of having that flow, having that circulatory system of spiritual energy, where it flows out and it feeds, cleanses, nourishes, and repairs every aspect of your life. Every cell in your body gets a little bit of that, the blood and the lymph and whatever else is in there. Plasma, I don't know. To nourish it and cleanse it and to repair what's going on there. So I feel that this is very, very significant for you, especially with this idea of sort of improving things, healing things, cleansing things, nourishing things, relationships. Your relationship not only with your own body, but with other people. Your relationship with God, goddess, deity, the spiritual energy. Your relationship with your physical work, whether it's an employer, maybe you're retired, but with whatever work you're doing in the physical environment, right? Improving your relationship with that. Everything is getting nourished by this spiritual energy now. And what it's allowing you to do is to continue building this absolute best life, right? Because this, again, it's pregnant with possibilities here. And in order for you to realize this, you're out here doing the work. We've got the Prince of Pentacles, right? And I feel that this is really this is as a result of the clarity, right? And that's what the Prince has, is clarity. The Prince knows the blueprints. The Prince has the absolute pure idea kind of locked in, and it knows what to do. It knows how to work and how to build whatever this is. It's already received the orders from the architect, and it knows what it's supposed to build. It has the plans, and its job is just to build. And so I see that there's not a lot of confusion, there's not a lot of questioning, there's not a lot of doubt. You're just doing it. You're moving forward with your life, with this merger, and you're focusing on all those areas of your life that need to be built up and strengthened. The relationships, maybe your physical life, maybe your financial life, maybe your physical well-being, right, needs the focus. And you're out here doing this with that Ace of Swords, that certainty, that truth, sort of locked in. Yeah. So there's no doubt in your mind. It's really, really beautiful. We're going to talk about the path of the serpent now. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It really helps out the channel. And, you know, a lot of tarot channels on YouTube are struggling right now. So if you value your favorite tarot readers on YouTube, I know I'm your #1 favorite, but everybody else too, be sure to let them know. Make sure you're subscribed. Like their videos, comment on the videos, watch the videos all the way through till the end, watch your other placements. That's the best thing that you as the audience can do to support not only me, but all of my colleagues in the YouTube tarot community. Okay, things are tough all over out here, you know, and I'm sure we all very much appreciate you. Okay, enough of that. General energy now. The magician is the one that can blend both worlds. The magician is the one that receives the spiritual light from above and transmits it to the earth. And we usually think of it's like coming from above, it's going in, the magician is that pure sort of conduit, the medium, you know, and out it comes onto the earth, it manifests. The divine energy now has become manifested on earth. This is the perfect sort of conduit, the perfect conductor of that spiritual force. I always talk about fire and earth, right, as the electrical circuit of manifestation, the spiritual electrical circuit of creation, right? Fire to earth, heaven to earth, idea to implementation, will to action, inspiration to implementation, you know, fire and earth. Well, the magician is that I don't know, that metal or that medium that conducts the electricity. You got to have the wires in there, right? And I don't know if I don't know what the best sort of conductor of electricity is. I don't know if it's a certain metal, but it would be this card. This is that perfect conductor where there's no loss. There's no loss of energy there, right? And so this is you able to take what's coming in from spirit. I think you've been getting a lot of weird synchronicities lately. It's you able to take this as your spiritual antenna. It's kind of on the top of your head. And all that light is coming in. Okay? And that's the way the magician usually has its arm upraised, holding on to the wand, receiving that sort of spiritual lightning, you know, and able to conduct it to the earth and manifest it. 1-to-1 sort of ratio, right? No loss at all. But we think now that some of the energy is flowing back the other way too. It's a two-way street, right? That the things that we are manifesting, and that's how it's kind of the blending of both worlds, because the energy is going the other way too. That the things that you are manifesting are then sort of you know, being returned, being transmitted up and being converted back into the spiritual light. You know, it really is, it's not even really a flow because everything sort of exists together anyway. So it's not like there's really any distance to travel, but it is, it's the two-way flow of creation, okay? And I feel that this is really you able to bring your earthly reality and your spiritual reality together and allow for this interaction. This is a card of the interface. You know, this is the interface between heaven and earth, right? And it's you. And this is your ability to create your reality, to produce this energy, the absolute ideal of what this is going to look like for you. This is sort of your divine vision. This is what you want. This is what you're creating in your life. And it transcends any particular compartment on its own. Okay? Magician's very adaptable, very much able to channel the appropriate energies and to interact and interface with the world in such a way that it begins to form closer to the ideal. All right. Now, in the position of the environment, we've got the Luster Strength card. And this is a card of passion. This is a card of, I think, courage, bravery, that sort of thing too. But I feel like this is kind of a card that is showing you kind of being in the spotlight in some way. Yeah, I feel like this is you. This is you being a kind of gracious host in a way, maybe. I feel like this is you sort of organizing your loved ones. And maybe if this is a family thing, if this is your family and your partner's family, this is you sort of orchestrating a joint sort of everybody get together. We're going to have a big party. Both sides of the family are going to get together and going to see how it goes, you know. So it could have something really to do with the in-laws or, you know, anything like this. But I do see two groups of people that are kind of coming together, and maybe at first it's going to be like everybody on your side sort of stands over here, the other family stands over here, and eventually everybody's going to come together and everybody's going to start dancing with everybody. It's going to be great. Okay, so if you're planning any kind of a get-together or a party or a family reunion or something like that, invite both sides, right? And it may be awkward at first, but it's going to come together. Okay, and this card, I think, is you sort of orchestrating that, being the one that's sort of putting that together with a lot of confidence. Yeah, and a lot of music, I feel too. Okay. And I think that this card is really talking about your relationships in general and how you've got to be the one to sort of reach out and allow and sort of direct this water where to flow. Okay, to improve and heal those relationships in your life that still really, really matter to you. Okay, there's also a connection with sunflowers. I don't know what the sunflower is or where it is, if you grow them, if you have a tattoo or a mural or a painting of sunflowers, but see a nice, bright, big, yellow, beautiful sunflower around you in your aura somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from. The Hierophant, in the position of the environment, to me right now feels like very old, stale energy. Right, very old, stale energy. It's kind of like this is what you know. This is what the religious authorities would tell you. This here with the high priest, this is what your own spiritual interaction tells you, right? So it's kind of like this, to me, this feels like very stale advice. This feels like ancient wisdom that really doesn't apply to your life anymore, you know? And this is the obstacle, and I think that this is maybe a cultural thing, if this is some sort of a religious dogma that you've kind of been subject to, but this is really stuffy. It feels very stuffy, very old energy, where this is fresh and direct gnosis, the high priestess. We're coming directly in to your spiritual antenna and giving you the guidance about how to direct this water energy and how to unite your life in this way. Really amazing energy for you. You've got to get over this stuffy energy, and it's kind of the Hierophant is kind of saying, well, this is the way we do it. This is the way we've always done it. This is tradition. And who are you to try to break with tradition? Who are you to try to go against the grain, do your own thing, you know? And I don't know if this is maybe family, if it's cultural, if it's institutional, if it is just kind of what we grew up believing about the world, you know, or maybe this is you kind of growing up and having the experience of, you know, well, people kind of, they kept their spirituality kind of hidden, and it's something you just do on Sundays, and then the rest of the week it's all about work and making money. Where did the spirituality go? Except Sunday rolls around again, suddenly we're dressed nice and we're going and we're praying in church. There's nothing wrong with that. To each their own. You know, however people choose to experience the spiritual realm is up to them, even if it's maybe not at all. But I feel like this is you realizing that that way is not your way anymore. That you're going your own. It doesn't have to be about spirituality. That's just for instance, you know. Whatever this is, the way that you kind of grew up believing it should be is not how it needs to be for you. And I think there's a big conflict now between the Hierophant and the High Priestess. Okay. So if we can get past the Hierophant, you get to the Three of Pentacles, that's the jackpot. And guess what you win? You win having to do the work to build up your own thing. You've got to now make your own tradition, right? If we're not following the rigid rules of the institution or of the culture, you've got to make your own rules. You've got to figure out how it works for you. You know, we're talking about spirituality or something. You can follow the instructions of a guru or a religious leader or an occultist or an esotericist or something. That there's sort of a prescribed way of doing things. And maybe you've done that, and it works, and it's good, and it's fine. But now you're ready to transcend that. The student at some point has to transcend the master. And once you do that, once you get across that hierophant, okay, then it's all about you forging your own way. Nobody has done it from this point, you know. This is when the path becomes uniquely yours. You do, in some ways, have to reinvent the wheel. Okay? And I think this is that moment for you. I think this is a major red alert that says your fate really is in the balance here. That Libra energy, I think, is very important because the Libra is the idea of things that are kept separate, and we're sort of evaluating them each for what they are, and they're still separate, you know. And perhaps there is this third option for you. Perhaps there is this way to transcend that separation, that compartmentalization. But you're going to have to, I mean, this is the point where the path becomes uniquely yours. Okay, it's a big, big moment. I want to look at the mystery card. I feel a sense of urgency with some of this. I feel like this is kind of, the two worlds are colliding, and you either have to be there to sort of, to ease the process, or it's just gonna, they're just gonna collide like two galaxies in space, you know? What do we think this is going to be? I really don't know. Maybe it will be the Art or Temperance card, the synthesis of the two sides, right? That would be something. It could be the Lover's energy, which Gemini would be your opposite sign. See, I know I misspoke in the last reading. But there's still that same idea going on as we had last time too. So I think it's either gonna be a card of union. Let's just put it that way. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Here we go. The Fool. Aha. The Fool is not so much a card of union, but it is a card of going your own very unique way. See, what we were saying with the Three of Pentacles is that once you get across this hierophant, this is where the path becomes uniquely yours, and that's the Fool. The Fool has transcended culture, has transcended institution, has transcended doctrine and dogma and rituals and rules, has transcended time and space. The path is uniquely the Fool's every time. There are a billion fools in the world, and each one has a very unique path. This is the moment where you embark on your real journey, where your unique adventure really begins. Yeah. This is the ultimate confirmation. And I think that this too is kind of a card that says, hey, have some fun with it. Enjoy it. You know, it might be awkward, it might be a lot of stress, it might be like a lot of just like anxiety, a lot of running around trying to merge especially if it's family, you know. But try to have some fun with it and know that this is you kind of, you know, doing things your very own unique way. This really is the moment that the student transcends the master. Yeah. I love this reading for you. We're going to do an extended reading too if you want to stick around. There is a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Sagittarius Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.